Hello, my peeps, and welcome to a brand new walkthrough of Final Fantasy X. Ta-da! Alright, so, have I ever played this before? Yes, I actually did play it on my PS2. Really enjoyed the game, but since I live in the United States of America, I didn't know what Dark Aeons were. What? And Penance, what? No, there's no bosses named Penance in Final Fantasy X. Well, for the American version, that's true. If you did the international version, this is all, Penance and, the Dark Aeons. That's all you already knew about them. But yeah, me, I've actually never done all of the Dark Aeons. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And select a sphere grid. Now I am going to go ahead and just stay with the standard sphere grid, just because that's the one I know. I was never able to experience the expert sphere grid. Now, for people who's playing challenges, and just to let you know, I'm not, it is something that a lot of people use the expert sphere grid because you can get into different areas way quicker. Like if someone wanted to beat the game only by playing Lulu, who is our black magic mage, they use expert sphere grid. I don't really agree with that, just because with the expert sphere grid, you actually have to break into somebody else's grid in order to get Flare. Which, Flare, that's like the most powerful black magic spell that there is. Of course, in the standard sphere grid, totally that, but you only are in that basically. So Lulu, again, black mage, she only has access to that, so she's very focused on basically magic, MP, her spells. I can't remember, I think she's evasion. I can't remember if that's Yuna. She actually is very quick and likes to evade everything, and she's of course the white mage, so she's more defense, cure. There is one spell, Holy, which of course is the best white magic spell, and it's really the only offensive one that she learns if you only keep her in her grid, which of course we're not going to do that. With the PS4, the PS5, of course there's trophies. They're not hard, which is the good thing, but they take so much time. Why? Because with the standard sphere grid, which has more nodes that you can put stuff, so then you can go ahead and max out your stats, which is great. That's what I'm going to do. It also means you have a lot more to actually fill in order to be able to completely complete the sphere grid, which you have to do with one character and then all of your party members. So that is going to be such a grind. I do look forward to doing the the max stats. I do enjoy that, but I'm gonna have to actually fill the complete standard sphere grid. Which what I will do is that once I have all of the other stats, like strength, defense, magic defense, having the MP maxed out at the 999, I believe it is. But that's a really good amount. So I'm not going to look to do the max HP that you can do. I mean, I am definitely going to go for the 9,999, which that's, not having to do the break HP limit. What? Yeah, I'll talk about that. But you can do the break HP limit, which allows you to do 99,999. I don't see the need to do that. And besides that, it makes it so that I can't really get my maximum stats. So I'm not going to do that. But for everything else, once I have actually completely maximized everybody's MP and all that sort of stuff, all the other stats, I will just go ahead and fill out the rest of the grid using the HP spheres, so getting more HP. Will I be able to get the 99,999? No, not at all. But it will be it will be under 30,000, I think, but yeah, we'll see. It depends on if I go ahead and max out my actual luck, which that's a grind. Everyone's like, you don't have to, and I'm like, I don't know if I will. I know I will definitely do at least 200, which is a lot. You can do a maximum of 255, so I don't know. We'll have to see what I have to do, because with that one, you not only have to grind for the actual luck spheres, but you have to also do the fortune spheres in order to unlock it. That's the only one that you have to do like 2 different spheres in order to unlock something. Well, you do with everything else, but it's just that one you kind of have to do 1Z, 2Z, rather than you can get 30 of them or 40 of them. Yeah, 40 of them at a time. Those ones are easy, but yes, it's going to take a while. But yeah, like I said, I'll figure that out once we're there, once I actually have access to that. Alright, so I have selected the standard sphere grid. Now, this note is something that you need to be aware of. You can't switch the grid types in-game. So if I suddenly, after getting up to Luca, I'm like, no, I needed to do the expert sphere grid. So how do you change it? You have to start over. So it is better to actually know which one you want to do, because you'd have to start over, which I don't mind starting games over, but I'm trying not to. Alright. So select a soundtrack type. Now this one you can change once you have access to the main menu. So the range is new for the remastered version. I'm going to go with the original. Since I'm going with the original sphere grid, let's go ahead and do the original for the soundtrack type. And again, this is something that you can change once you have access to the main menu. Now, I will admit I am going to rename Tidus. Tidus? Yeah, that's the reason why. Of course, I called him Tidus, all throughout my playing, because Tidus is a very water boy. He plays blitzball, which is, in water. He also apparently doesn't need to breathe underwater. Or maybe he breathes water. I don't know. Anyway. But he also is given a very iconic sword, which is called the Brotherhood. It looks like the best water lava lamp ever. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rename him that. He is the only character, like main party member, that you can name. So he, of course, is the only one. They never tell you the name throughout the entire game. It's like, hey you, new guy, something like that. So it's just one of those things that I didn't know how to say it until, of course, I played until I played Kingdom Hearts. And of course, Tidus was there. And they're like, Tidus! And I'm like, what? That's how you say his name? Well, that makes sense if you're coming from an Asian background and just how it's written. That does make sense. But no, I like Tidus better because, like I said, it makes more sense. And I guess they really wanted to show it's really cool they can now move the eyeballs. I don't know. But yes, so that's what I'm planning to do. And of course, the only other characters that you can name are going to be all of your summons. So I'll tell you what I'm going to name
Listen
Tidus.
to my story.
Oh, sorry. We'll go ahead and do that.
This may be our last chance.
For what? It won't be, but yes, of course it's the last. Anywho, so I'll definitely tell you guys what my naming theme is going to be. So it's a little silly. I'll freely admit that, but and I hope I have enough names. We'll see. So I will say, I just came from playing Final Fantasy IX. And all of the characters, like the NPCs, the ones that you don't really, that has really not a lot to do with the story, they're not part of the main party. Hello? Ghost? What? Yeah. They were very... they really took care to make all the NPCs not look alike. Well, with the exception of all the Nero family, which is understandable because they're, you know, family. But yes, what do I mean by that? So, okay, so there's this guy, this is kid here. But then you also have this kid here. Same hair, same, you know, bandana, same overalls, same shoes, same bracelets. Do they have that continuing on with the game? Yes. And I will point it out because I always see this girl in pink. Although, let's go ahead and talk to the ghost here. Hello, ghost.
The game tonight. It's very important.
Really? What?
The game tonight. It's very important.
Shouldn't you tell me why it's important?
The game tonight. It's very important.
He's gonna be like that. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is either talk to these 3 kids or these 2 girls. You can do either one because whichever one that you talk to first, you'll have the opportunity to name Tidus. So I'll talk to the kid. No, I'll talk to the girls because it's just so cringy.
Can I have your autograph?
And I'll end with the conversations I like way better. Okay, so... Oops, I can't spell Edgar. That's not going to work very well. Edgar! Okay, so who is Edgar? Edgar is actually my sister's cat. He is so sweet. Usually cats don't... It's not that they hate me, but they don't like me either. But Edgar always, like, comes and, like, whenever I go to my sister's house, he comes up and greets me. It's so sweet. He lets me pet him. It's really wholesome. I like it. Like I said, he's one of the only cats that I mean, I know cats. I mean, I'll be naming... My naming theme for this game is going to be cats. Or, not cats, it'll be pets, because...
Good luck tonight!
Didn't usually have cats in my... It was usually dogs.
Oh, if I score a goal, I'll, do this.
Losers!
That'll mean it was for you.
Okay.
Okay?
So I'm joking about it,
seat?
but I have to admit, in the 2000s, it wasn't something
Got it.
as often now associated with doing that L with your fingers as being loser. But yeah, it's just really funny, and so I'm like, I can't really take him serious when he's flirting. He's not very good at it. But I like the interaction with these 3 kids because it's very wholesome. You can tell he's very nice to him.
No problem.
He likes kids.
Me too!
Take it easy.
But yeah. Alright, so what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to head in the middle here. Okay. Let's get going.
Well, gotta go. Cheer for me.
2, 3. Teach us how to blitz!
Hey, I got a game to play.
Then teach us after.
Maybe tonight, well...
You can't tonight.
What? Alright, so I have to pause this, because if you notice, his feet, he's barefoot, so what? Well, that is true, but when we see him later on, he's gonna have clear socks on. And I don't know why.
mean tomorrow.
I don't know why.
Promise?
It's very confusing for me.
Promise.
I mean, if he would have had clear socks here, well, I'd still be like, you're barefoot. Why? If you're gonna have socks, you should have shoes. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm like, I had to point it out because I'm definitely pointing out the fact when he has those socks on. Are they socks? I don't think they're supposed to be, but they look like socks to me. All right, so who's this guy on the building? That is Edgar's dad. His name is Jet. He is a very famous sports athlete. And Edgar doesn't like him that much.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news.
And this is a little bit of background about... Okay, so there's a girl in pink.
Vanished into thin air.
And there's a girl in pink.
My dad must have been his biggest fan.
And we'll come across another girl in pink, but we need to talk to her 3 times. Why? She's going to give us some items.
What are you thinking?
Okay. Man,
I
tickets
went
for
running
tonight's
straight back
game
home.
cost an
We
arm and a
sat up
leg.
talking about Jack
Tickets were all
night.
sold out. I hope someone's got
My
some
dad and I
extra.
never
The
talked
third
so
time.
much.
Can't you get me a
Whoa.
ticket? I want to see the
Didn't
game
mean
up
to reminisce,
close.
folks.
Sure thing.
Anyway,
Really?
10 years later, the
You're the
Jack Memorial
greatest.
Cup tournament is
How can I
today.
repay you? Oh,
The two
here,
teams that
have
have won
this.
through to the
And
finals
we got
are,
2
of course,
potions.
the Abes from A
Best
East
thing
and the
ever.
Juggles from
No, but
C
like I said,
South.
it's like the first items that you can get in the game. And of course, I am going to go ahead and get all the items that I can.
Make way, make way!
All right, Edgar, start
Coming through.
running. Come on, come on.
Hey!
I'm gonna be late.
Hey, let go of me!
Who is holding on to you? Okay, so again, I find Edgar very awkward, at least in this game. Now, this is kind of the beginning CGI. Look what we can do. But unfortunately, I can't really have you listen to it because it's very much copyrighted. It's a really fun area. It's a fun song. I like it. But yeah, copyrighted. So I will just fast forward this part and I will see you on the other side. Okay. And do I think anyone could have survived that fall? Nope, not at all. But that's okay. It can't be a game over this early.
Auron! What are you doing here?
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about?
Hello? Did you guys notice?
It begins.
What? Look, he had socks on. Okay. Alright, I'll leave it alone.
What?
Don't cry.
Where'd he go?
What the?
I'd be more like, why did how did he stop time?
Hey, wait!
Although in the Final Fantasy world, that just means he's, did the stop
Hey,
spell.
Not this way!
Look, we called it sin.
Sin?
We called it? Alright, so that big guy, well, not the biggest big guy, but the medium guy, that is a sin spawn. The little things that are coming from him, those guys, they are sin scales. Now, we will be actually encountering them quite a bit, although more sin spawn than sin scales, just because sin scales aren't really that tough.
Take it.
My old man?
I hope you know how to use it.
Me too.
These ones don't matter. We cut through.
And that's 100% correct. So what we're supposed to do is just go and, you know, defeat guys. Now, I am going to be doing something slightly different, although not with these. I am going to have Edgar be attacking everybody. But I'm going to have Auron actually attack himself. Why? Well, I'll explain in the next area. This next fight. When we have basically 5 of them surrounding us. Because this is a very good place to actually grind for overdrive modes.
Don't bother going after all of them. Cut the ones that matter and run.
What he means is that if we defeat the 3 in the front, we'll be able to continue on with the story. However, if you go ahead and actually defeat this one here, either one of these in the back row, they will come back. And so they're basically infinitely spawning. Now, what are you doing? I am, actually, I'll go ahead and have Edgar hit himself a couple times. Why? Because like I said, I'm going to be working on, yes, okay. I'm going to be working on overdrive modes, and I needed Edgar to be in the yellow HP. Now, Auron, unfortunately, I am just going to go ahead and defeat him because I need Edgar to be all by himself. Because he will need to go ahead and get an overdrive mode called Loner. And that means, of course, you have to be alone in battle. So, of course, that means Auron can't be with me. Now, I could have actually done that at the very, very beginning of these 3 kind of battles, but I am going to revive Auron because once Edgar has learned the overdrive mode of Loner, I'm going to bring Auron back because I want Edgar to learn Loner. That's going to be first. Then I also want him to learn the overdrive mode of Slayer. And then I'm going to want him to learn Daredevil, which is why he is in yellow health. Now, are these important? I would argue that the Loner is important. Slayer and the Daredevil, you can actually learn that through the game itself. It's just this one is the easiest because if you notice, I have an unlimited amount of enemies coming my way, but they're not attacking, which this is very, very rare. I think, other than this one, I honestly don't think that there's another one that is like that. There are some enemies that you can't get a game over, like in the next battle that we're going to be doing. But they're not attacking me. So is it worth actually taking the time? And it does take probably about 45 minutes. Now, I do have to be careful because if I do defeat this sin scale that's in front of me, that does mean the game is going to continue, and I haven't learned the overdrive modes. Have I done that before? Yeah. But I do think it actually makes the battle go a little bit faster, and it is only a little bit because, well, you always have to have the back ones come back. Now, do I have to just do this one that's to the lower left-hand side? No, I could just press the right button, the right arrow button, and I can do that one. It's still the same thing, as long as I do not do the one in front. Now, how am I going to know that Edgar has learned the overdrive mode that I want? It's because there is going to be kind of a... You'll be able to hear it. There is a sound that will alert you that you have learned the overdrive mode, but you'll also see it at the very top of the screen, and it will say, Edgar has learned the overdrive mode of, and it will be Loner in this case. But yeah, it's just going to be in the top, and the actual overdrive mode name is going to be in blue. So even if you're not really paying attention, well, hopefully you're listening and be able to hear that. And if you just don't have the sound on, you'll just need to really keep an eye on the top of the screen, and you'll be able to see it. It doesn't stay very long, so if you're not paying attention at all, if you're not listening to it, if you're not, watching the screen, I don't know what to tell you, because you could be doing this. Although I guess if you are, if you were distracted and then suddenly Edgar learns the overdrive mode of Slayer, and you see that, well, he has definitely learned the Loner, because with Loner, Tidus needs to be in battle alone for a total of 60 of his turns. Is it possible for Auron to actually learn it? Yes, it actually doesn't take him as long, but he's never going to be alone in battle, so I'm not taking the time to do that. What about the other ones? So for Slayer, I am going to get both Edgar and Auron to learn it. For Edgar, it's going to take a total of 60 turns for him to learn it, and then for Auron, it will take 80 turns. Now, I am also going to have Edgar learn Daredevil. Am I ever going to use it? I really don't think so. But again, this is the easiest place to actually learn it. Would I actually learn all of these, with the exception of Loner? You'd have to actually go and do that, honestly. But just naturally playing, it is very easy to get Slayer. You'll actually come across Daredevil, because yes, you can get into critical, the yellow health quite easily. So yes, that is something that you can honestly do, but for Daredevil, Edgar needs to have 170 turns in critical in order to get Daredevil. For Auron, he has to do that for 260. So am I going to get that for Auron? No. If I have to do that, that will be something that I'll do later on, and it'll just be... will I actually try for Auron to get it? Just like Loner, no. But for Edgar, since Auron isn't actually, defeating anything right now, I can make it so then Edgar can actually learn Daredevil pretty easily. So what I am going to do is that once Edgar has learned Loner, which hopefully he'll learn this soon, but I will go ahead and bring Auron back with a Phoenix down, and then I will have both of them be working on getting Slayer. And once he has learned it, once Edgar has learned Daredevil, Auron shouldn't honestly have learned the overdrive mode of Slayer, and once Auron learns Slayer, then I will go ahead and continue on with the story. And again, this can take up to 40-45 minutes. Do I think it's worth it? Yes. Do you have to do it? No, absolutely not. Like I said, for getting Edgar to have Loner, it might be worth it. But if you just want to experience the game and get through as quickly as possible, then do it. You don't have to do this. Like I said, for me, it is worth it just to get Edgar with the Loner and the Slayer overdrives, because I'll use that in the beginning quite a lot. And it will make it so then Edgar can learn his overdrive modes, which he learns it by doing the overdrive modes much, much faster. So it is something that, for me, it is worth getting. And again, Edgar will learn his new overdrive modes, meaning the attacks, when he uses his overdrive modes and actually uses those attacks. So if you do the overdrive attack 10 times, he will learn his second attack, which is Slice and Dice. If he does it 30 times, now it doesn't matter if he's doing the second, the first or second one, it doesn't matter. he just needs to use those overdrive attacks. Learned, learner. Okay. So of course I am going to bring Auron back because I want Auron to actually learn the Slayer mode. And so yes, we're going to go ahead and do that. And I will be watching Edgar to see when he actually learns his Overdrive mode of Slayer, because he already has a head start from Auron, so Edgar will be able to learn it way quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to skip ahead until Edgar learns his Slayer Overdrive mode. And yeah, I'll then bring you guys back in so then you can actually see the different thing that I'll be doing in order to learn the Daredevil. Alright, Edgar has learned the Overdrive mode of Slayer. Now what does that mean? That means I am going to just, before I hit the attack button, I'm going to go ahead and use the right arrow button on my controller, because then we'll get to basically another menu in the battle, and we can actually change our weapons or our armor. Now I'm going to go ahead and just change my weapons. What? You have another weapon? No, actually no, but it is the quickest action that you can take in the game, honestly. Now, Auron's still going to be doing his attacking, same enemy, same doing everything, but like I said, I'm going to be changing the weapons. Why? Because this action, like I said, is the quickest one, and usually he can get 3 to 4 turns to Auron's 1 turn. So again, much quicker, because the Daredevil, he has to do 170 of them. So hopefully, before Auron actually gets his Slayer, Edgar will actually be able to get the Daredevil Overdrive, which is why I'm doing it, not because I'll actually use Daredevil. Apparently in the PS2, it was much more broken that you could actually use the Daredevil and be able to use the quick attack just over and over and over and over. So that is something that they fixed in the remastered version, apparently. I don't know, I never used it, so I couldn't tell you. I might have to start up my PS2 in order to verify that fact, but that would still be quite a bit of hours to grind in order just to get to either in order to get to quick hit. But apparently it also costs much less in the PS2 version. I don't know. Like I said, sooner or later I'll probably do that, because I do still have my PS2, I still have the, Final Fantasy X. I could totally do it, but yes. Okay, what am I doing? Oh yes, I'm going to do this, and sorry, I'll go ahead and basically bring you guys back once I do get either Daredevil with Edgar, or Slayer with Auron. So I will see you guys in a moment. Alright, you guys, Edgar has actually learned Daredevil. So what does that mean? So now I can go back to attacking this guy, because I can work on another one called Warrior, and it would mean that I would need to basically damage/defeat 150 enemies, which I already have 100, since that's how I got, since that's how I was able to get Slayer. Now, I will say, well, why didn't you, instead of, changing your weapon, why didn't you just go ahead and defend? Which, that's a good question. But it's because, again, switching the weapons is the quickest one. If I was to defend, which is definitely something you can do in order to hurry that up, but that would mean for one of Auron's turns, it would only do 2 to 3. And again, when I was changing out my weapons, it was 3 to 4 for every Auron turn. So yeah, it's just quicker that way. And like I said, it lets me now work on getting warrior. Will I actually make sure I get a warrior before I continue on? No, because again, once Auron has learned his Slayer Overdrive mode, I'm gonna book it because I'm good. Because I'll be able to get Edgar with warrior. I don't know when, but yeah, it won't take very long. I might not get it in the next... I probably will get it in the next area. But, once I leave Zanarkand. But, yeah, I'm not too worried about it, because I will definitely get it just going through the game. Alright, Auron has learned the Overdrive mode of Slayer. So that means we can go ahead and defeat this guy here. Now, should I get Edgar? Should I use a potion on Edgar so then he's not in critical? No, it doesn't matter for this next battle. It just doesn't. You should have continued running. I don't know. There we go. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, look. I guess he got off the building.
Get out of my town!
Some can't wait to die.
Alright, so since we're actually learning tutorial about overdrives, in this battle, like I said, this is not one that you're going to get a KO, a game over, just because you have to do this. And so just by doing this dragon thing, even if I don't do it properly, so I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to try to complete it. This is one of the easier ones, so it is really easy to complete. But if you don't, even if you don't, you still will be able to defeat all of the sin scales, which they are the ones that would be able to attack you. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't, maybe they would do exactly what they did before, which basically take turns but not actually attack you. But with this enemy, the only thing he can do is Demi. And again, even if he got me down to 1 HP, then all of the damage would be at 0. So all I'm going to do is basically just attack him. Hit him over and over and over again, and it doesn't matter the fact that Edgar is in critical damage. It doesn't matter. Because yes, I am taking damage, but with it being Demi, I'm not going to get a good game over. Although my only question is, will I be able to do an overdrive before I get out of this particular one, which I should actually. And I am going to go ahead and do the overdrive, which is going to be swordplay, spiral cut. And so this is the first one out of the 10 that I need to do in order to get the next one. I didn't kill him, but that's okay. Auron should be able to do it. Yep. Of course he did. Alright, now we need to run here. Now this one is very, very important. You need to use this save sphere. You're like, oh no, this is like the beginning levels. It's gonna be fine. No, you're gonna be surrounded by sin scales and they will attack you. So if I left this without pressing this, I would be in trouble. So I will go ahead and save here and be right back. Alright you guys, now that we saved, let's go ahead and continue on with the story. And as of right now, I still couldn't get into the menu or anything like that.
What are you laughing at, old man? Auron, let's get out of here.
We're expected.
Huh? Give me a break, man.
Alright, so this is the battle that would give you an end. It would give you a game over. Wow, couldn't think. So all I need to do right now is basically just attack. So the wings starting to flicker will make it so then the enemy will actually do a harder amount of damage. So let's just go ahead and continue on. The good thing is, even though there's a total of 7 against us, only 1 will actually have their wings flicker. So there is that.
This could be bad. That! Knock it down!
What?
Trust me, you'll see.
Okay. Now, there is an enemy that is going to have its wings flicker, but as you can see on the upper right-hand side, that actually shows you the turns in their order. So, since Edgar will actually be able to attack the one with the wings flickering, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Auron will focus on attacking the tanker, and Edgar will take care of the flickering wings enemy. Okay. Now, if you notice, the tanker is really... It's really just going to need 1 more hit. So I am going to go ahead and defeat it with Edgar, even though there was an enemy with the wings flickering.
Whoa!
Go.
Ah! Auron! Auron!
You are sure? This is it. This is your story. It all begins here.
So what we need to do is we need to press circle to go down, but of course we actually need to get to the middle of this stadium. And as you can see, there is Jet, his old man. But once you get closer, you get to see a young
I thought
Edgar.
about a lot of things. Like where I was, what I got myself into. I started to feel lightheaded, and then sleepy. I think I had a dream of being alone. I wanted someone, anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
So I will say, I do think part of his daddy issues is the fact that he was abandoned. And so I think he has more of an abandonment issue. Why? Because of what
Anybody
he's going to
there?
say here.
Auron! Hey!
Well, you just scared off your could have been your friend, your birdie. Kind of rude. Alright, so now that we got the map up in the upper left-hand side, that does mean I know where I'm going. Well, it means I don't really have to pay attention to my direct screen. I can more take a look at the map since I know where I'm going to go. Now, we are able to get into the main menu here, so let's go ahead and quickly do the configure. Again, this is where you can either do the arranged or the original. I will change the cursor to memory just because that helps. Sure. And then the Aeon, I do want to have it that short. Now, it will still have like the long version of either the when you first summon it or the overdrive. The first time it happens, it will be long, the everything. But after that, it'll just be a short, so I definitely want that. Map I'm always going to have on, vibrations I'm always going to have off. The other thing we can do is we can go ahead and set the mode. So here you can see Stoic charges when a character takes damage. Slayer charges when a character defeats the enemy. Daredevil charges while character fights with low HP, and then Loner, which is the one I'm going to switch it to, charges when the character fights alone. Definitely want to do that as well. He's all alone. What's this? Something's written there.
What do we have here? No, can't read it.
Alright, so we don't know it at this second, but that was a message in Albed, which that is a different, it's a different race of people, or nationality, I guess, than here. Now, I am going to go up here, just because there is another treasure chest. That is, if I can get it. We got a couple more potions. Now, this is good if you have actually played this game before, and if you have something saved, you can actually load up all of the Albed primers, basically the things that you need in order to translate the Albed language, whether written or spoken. But yeah, I don't have anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and continue on. I got stuck. The other thing I'm gonna do really quickly is I am gonna go ahead and get over here and basically grab the item that's still available, which is a high potion, I believe. Yep, high potion. And now I'm gonna go back to the save, because I do not right now want to go ahead and continue, because, well, it's that time in the episode where I need to stop it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode and look forward to more of my walkthrough for Final Fantasy X. But I hope you guys have a really great day, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is for you guys. Just have a really great one. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!